show. Just about to chat with our Big Brother cast of 2006, and the Veronicas still to come. But before we chat to the housemates, it's been not just a big year for them in the house, but also a very big year for them joining us here on Rove Live. Let's have a look back at some of the highlights of our Big Brother Vic D visits. First two voted out of the house. How does it feel to be the losers?
Oh, we're a bit bummed, but...
Would Michael make a good son-in-law?
No!
There we go. So what did Mum say when you finally bumped into her?
She said, I'm proud of you. You yourself.
I love you, you little mom.
No, why don't you tell me? Why do you think I was voted out?
Oh, because you're an idiot.
Sometimes her conversations were a little bit full on and it made people walk away.
Sorry, I wasn't fake.
Blah, blah, blah. You said you didn't mind double dipping. Does that explain your relationship with Dino and John?
What's the one thing you missed about Katie the most, Jamie?
Probably not having sex. How long did you think you would last?
I thought it lasted a bit longer than 4 days.
Blah, blah, blah. I cannot get scissors through this. Johnny and Ashley went into the diary room and then they never came out.
We just thought they were up to something shifty.
Jeez.
No, there's all
you
things...
reckon? Blah, 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 blah.
Camilla's all like, oh, jumps on all the new boys, and then she turns into a bitch, and then...
What's going on? I mean, if he's not doing his... He's doing his... And finally, you said you didn't feel entirely yourself in the house. Yes or no? Was that because you're 20% silicone? Your Big Brother housemates for 2006, all of them. There we go. Welcome, everybody, and nice to see you all again. And Max and Chris, nice to meet you guys as well.
Oh, you're right.
Very good, thank you. OK, so who's the most hungover? Katie, very big night. Will you be celebrating?
I think me.
I haven't slept yet.
Do you reckon?
I haven't slept yet. I've been
I
out 2 days.
Close.
I got the Arsenal on Sunday.
You haven't slept for 2 days.
I haven't slept. Well, I've got reasons, but.
You're digging a hole.
You've been dancing in the summer rain. Let's start. Tilly and Elise, the first two out of the house. Since then, have you watched any of the rest of the series at all?
Yeah. I watched Nominations. That's the funnest bit.
Just the nominations?
Yeah.
Not eviction? Didn't watch any evictions?
I'm not usually home on the Sunday nights to watch it.
That's a fair enough excuse. Why not? Did you kind of give up on it afterwards? You kind of went, well, I was out in the first week. I don't give a rat's ass anymore.
No. I watched it. Friday night games. I loved that the most. That was fun.
Now, Katie, for you, of course, with Jamie still in the house, once you were evicted, you must have kept a keen eye on things.
Huh? Me? No, I didn't even watch.
No, you didn't at all?
No.
Now, was that out of nerves? As you couldn't trust him? You didn't know what he might get up to?
I was pretty busy. And, yeah, I didn't really care.
Yeah.
That much.
How does that make you feel, Jamie?
You're a good egg, don't worry. No, I knew all the cameras on, as if he would do anything. Anyway, he's not, and he's smart, and he likes me.
What about you, Karen? You still had Crystal in the house, and I think I asked you this when you were on the show anyway. Did it make you more interested in watching what was going on?
No, I hardly watched it.
She didn't even vote for me.
Did anyone vote? Did anyone actually...
She voted for me. In and out.
We voted for Max. Yes, like, seriously, I wanted Max to win.
Just so Camilla wouldn't win.
Now, for Max and Chris, when you guys were kept in the house, when Claire and Crystal were voted out, it seemed you really didn't want to go back in. How was the feeling for the two of you waiting in that little transit lounge there?
It was hard. I wasn't looking forward to it. I was thinking, this is it. When I get out into the clubs, I'm going to duck for bottles and glasses, and it was going to be tough.
We're having a chat on how to walk in first. Max is going, you got to go, and I was like, no way, mate, I'm sitting in the chair.
The ninja had to drag us out.
And for you guys, when they came back in, what were you expecting out of the four? Crystal, Claire, Chris and Max. Who did you think was going to be walking back in?
Me, I come out too.
I thought, because Chris walked through.
David too. We can't forget David.
David was back. David was back.
You're already back by that stage.
David walked back, then Chris walked back, and I thought that Claire was going to follow because I'd heard Crystal almost saying goodbye to them, but
Then
No, we were
Max,
sure Claire was
Max
going to come
peeked
back.
his
She
head
didn't
around
come
and
back.
went, hello. Waiting for someone to kill him.
So at this point too, when the replacement housemates are brought into the house, are you starting to think, how long is this thing going to drag on? Because they don't actually tell you how long it's going to be, do they?
We thought it was another 4 weeks. So.
We had 1 week off.
Yeah, we're only
We're on 1 week off. Thought it'd go 1 week longer.
Came out, we were shocked that there was only a week to go because the maths didn't add up.
True.
So we thought, yeah, there was an extra week and on top.
Do you spend a lot of the time in the house doing the maths on what's going on the outside? How long?
Claire was.
Trying to work it out.
When I was in
keeping
there,
the
Claire
same.
kept saying, OK, we've got another week. OK, and how do you know this,
Two
Claire?
doubles the week after.
Yeah, we
Everything
tried to.
no. We
Try
the sun
to
at the time.
Yeah.
No, what time is it?
David
It's in the
knew the
morning.
time.
Is it lunchtime?
I knew the time. I was good with
David
Tell
knew
us
the
the
phone.
truth.
We just,
Farm
they're
time.
saying that we spent all the time talking about how long we get out. We spent most of the time just looking at each other. We just sat around and just looked.
We had these sites
about
about
layers.
it's all about staring at each other. We wouldn't
Gretel
even
says
talk some
layers.
of the time.
Well, Claire, you were someone who used to mention quite a bit, I think you mentioned it on the show as well, about it being boring in the house. Is it actually as boring as you would make us
Well,
believe?
you need to be creative, and I created quite a few good songs to get me through, and also a very creative game.
But you're not allowed to sing well-known songs.
That's right.
Songs ever.
Originally, we created my own songs. I'm great. And the game. And I also got my game going. I created a game with little bits and pieces I found around the house, and that was good because I always won. There's no rules. I always won, so it was a great game. Kept me going.
Okay. Now, when you came out of the house, you said that there were some people in the house that you could have possibly hooked up with, but you never mentioned who they were.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Did you? Who was that? Who would that be, Claire?
Come on, looking around now. Just cast your eyes around. There's got to be someone.
Straight at Darren.
I said Dave. Yeah. But never. I didn't act upon it. Oh, of course, Dave.
I read in a thing. I haven't seen anything, but I read in a piece of paper that someone gave me that she thought I was all right.
Look at him.
Always gay.
Now, did anybody have any regrets from their Big Brother experience at all?
Not one.
Not one?
Friday night games.
What didn't you like about Friday night games, Jamie?
It took me so long to do anything. The only time I won was when it was down to like 5 people or something. So it was made easy for me.
My trophies look better than his. And his mum was jealous as well. And his mum actually said to my mum that my trophies are better than his.
That's completely fabricated.
What about Michael? I mean, because you had the insider task that was not only given to you, but the one you handed over to yourself as well. Was that something that, looking back on, you had any regrets of? Did you think that affected how far you went in the game?
Yeah, look, going on the show, I've learned a lot about myself inside the house and outside the house. And being on shows like this, I've definitely learned a lot about myself. It's been quite a humbling experience. I guess a massive regret tonight is that John and Ash aren't here. So for me, that's a massive regret not having them here.
And fair enough, too. I mean, we put our hands up. We were more than willing to have the guys on as well.
You bring them on the show?
Sorry?
You bring them on the show?
Oh, we weren't allowed to.
You weren't allowed?
No, the rules
Why don't you
are...
just break the rules and bring them out? What are you afraid of?
I don't have their numbers. You guys would know how to find them better
So
than
you
I
bring them
would.
on next
I'll
week?
palm off you not
Well, by next week, no one cares anymore. Really? Lucky you like. We don't care anymore. Unless it's Mark Holden, Carl Sandlands or Marsha Hines, then we don't care. All right, we'll take a break and chat some more with the Big Brother housemates when we return after this.